I'm going to.
I just requested.
Okay, okay. I should have sent you a message in TikTok for you, but it's okay. Let me see if I can get you on here. Hmm.
Oh, it won't let me on this one. I don't have 1,000 followers on this one.
No, it's okay. You can still, even if you're just my guest, I'm just trying to invite you.
And I keep hitting accept and it keeps kicking me out.
Okay, hang on here. Okay, there you go. Oh, you're right. It does. Oh, no matter what I do, everything will be flowing. Then what? It just kicks. You're right. Every time I invite you, it kicks me out. Okay, here we go. No.
I was gonna say, you want me to hop on my other account?
It whichever one I just sent you, I sent you a message. Did you get the message?
I did, and that's on the new one that I created.
Oh, okay.
And it's not letting me in. I can try it on my other account that has all the people.
You can do that, and you can add me, or just find my live, and
Okay,
we'll
hold
just
on.
connect.
I'm switching accounts here. There you are. All
Hi,
right.
everyone. So glad you guys are joining us. So exciting. We're just working out our TikTok, little things that we have to do every time we get on. I refuse to let it bother me because I just refuse to let it win in my life. I'm not going to let, technical errors win because if that was the case, we'd always be mad.
I sent it to you.
Okay, let's see here. Did I get you? Yeah. Okay. Oh, wait, there you go. I'm learning all this. Okay. There you go. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Oh my goodness. So exciting. Oh my goodness. You guys, we are just getting ready for our new year and it's amazing.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited to be here. This is absolutely fantastic. Oh, as I drop my camera, you were talking about technical difficulties, Amy?
I just don't let it bother me because eventually it'll work it out or it doesn't. And I here's the thing in life is that sometimes things happen. And you know what? If we focus on that little thing, that little error that goes wrong in our life, then it's just a bunny trail you're going to go on of negativity. And we can't let it bother us. We can just go, we're going to solve the problem. We're just going to do what we can and just move forward.
A
Right?
100%. 100%. That's all you can do.
Yeah. And everything in our life is like that.
Yes, 100%.
Okay. So, you guys, thank you so much for joining. My name is Amy Bacon with Spiritually, Physically, Financially Fit with Bacon. And I'm also a real estate agent in Alaska and also now in Texas. And I have launched this coaching program where I'm going to help you grow spiritually, physically, and financially. And so you know that you got to have clarity. Okay. And if you don't know, I'm going to let you know you need clarity on where you're going in life, spiritually, physically, and financially. And so today, my guest speaker, so Tuesday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, I have a guest speaker, an entrepreneur, somebody who's successful that I would put my name on, that's going to be, that I could refer. I don't just go and I'm not going to just have anybody on just because they just want to be on. I'm going to make sure that they know what they're talking about. So Tuesday through Friday at 11 a.m. we're going to have entrepreneurs on. It's going to be helping you grow, okay, into your best self. So you can also go to amybacon.com and you can download the SPF tracking sheet that we do every single morning, and we pray about our goals spiritually, physically, financially. So if you go again to amybacon.com, sign up for mailing list, and you can get that free. And so moving right along. My guest today is a longtime friend. Also, she's been in real estate a little longer than me. I thought we came in around the same time, but obviously we didn't. She told me this morning she was been in real estate since 2004, and I got my license in 2008. So, but we've known each other that long. So you guys, this is Victoria Roberts. She is also the broker in Alaska with eXp Realty. Also, she's an amazing person, and she wants to help people to be the best they can. And so we're going to be talking about time management and best practices today. So Victoria, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself? Tell me what's going on with you these days.
Yeah, oh my gosh, girl, I am spinning so many plates. So, not only am I the broker of Alaska, which I absolutely love my job, I could not have something so rewarding come into my life than to be offered that job. And it's been amazing. However, I am an entrepreneur, right? So, an entrepreneur at heart. I have a lot of plates spinning. Right now, I'm currently doing the John Maxwell Coaching Leadership Program. It's been absolutely amazing. I got certified to teach and consult in the DISC program already. And I'm working my way through
Oh
the
my
rest.
goodness. What?
Yes.
That's so exciting. Oh my God.
Behavior analysis is so important to your growth. Figuring out who you are helps you figure out your why. And
Yeah.
it has been amazing. I really love the behavior analysis part of it. It's been great. And so I've been doing that. And then I'm also working on getting my mortgage license. So in Texas. So I have a lot of plates spinning, and time is extremely important. And for 20 years, I mean, gosh, Amy, I took so many time management classes all over the place thinking it's going to work. I color coded calendars. I did it all. And I'm going to say the number one question that you have to be able to answer before you can figure out your time management. And that is, are you committed to yourself?
Oh.
If you are not committed to you, you can set up all the protocols in place and nothing's going to ever happen. It's just going to be a color on your calendar. But you're not going to be present. You're not going to be there. You have to make this shift to allow yourself to get out of the way and be committed to you. And honestly, that was a journey for me that took a long time. I mean, my chronic illness came into play about 6 years ago. And I finally got to a point where I honestly had to talk with God and what I need to do. And I let go of a lot of things that had built up over the years, a lot of luggage and unpacking and all that great stuff. And really just asked him to show me, where do I need to go? What do I need to do in my life to get to me? And he showed me the way. And ever since then, the lids have just been popping off. It's been absolutely amazing. I'm committed to myself first, and then I move forward, because if you can't commit to you, then really can you commit to somebody else? And you can't commit to your future and your schedule. So
wow. Yeah, that's so true. So true. Well, welcome to the Maxwell family. I'm also a certified Maxwell speaker, so I love that you're a part of that. Yes, that's amazing. Oh, and Wayne Sammons is too. So we're just like,
I know.
We love leadership. That's why that's our tribe, right?
Absolutely. And it took me 20 years to get this too. You always hear people say, learn to love the process, yada yada. I used to roll my eyes at that. I'd be like, I don't want to learn to love the process. I don't like it. Well, I'm here to tell you 20 years later, and after having everything I've gone through in the last 5 years, and like, Victoria, what do you want? What do you need to let go of spiritually to move forward? What do you want? Where are you going to go? I now have learned this, and this came to me the other day in this way, and it is, learn to love the process, as the process will take you to success.
Okay.
But you have to learn to love the process, whether you like it or not. And if you start to do that and commit to yourself, then you're going to be able to do time management, because everything has purpose, intent, and meaning in it. If you are just doing day-to-day motions and just living your life, you're not having any purpose or intent behind it. Your time management is going to fall apart every single time. And so one of the things that you do is you have to be hyper vigilant and hyper present in you and what you want in your future. I'm juggling doctor appointments. I'm juggling Alaska real estate, right, as a broker. I'm juggling John Maxwell. I'm juggling mortgage. I'm juggling a lot. And if I did not have the commitment to myself, all the plates would fall down. And being committed means being disciplined. Being disciplined and allowing yourself to have those days. For me, I have to be hyper time management and hyper scheduled because there's some days where I have brain fog. I am not as alert as I should be. I cannot get as much done that day because of my chronic illness. So I have to be hyper vigilant on where I am in my job, where I am in my day, and time management is extremely important. But the number one question is, are you committed to you? And set a realistic schedule. Set a schedule that you can handle and say no to things that do not serve your purpose. That is a challenge, is say no.
Yeah. So going back is when you're setting your calendar, you commit to yourself, but create the calendar that it's going to get you to your goal.
Yes.
And, and you got to fit family in there. I mean, you got to fit your fun in there, but don't create a calendar of like, oh, this is what I need to do. You need to create a calendar you're going to commit to, that you're going to be able to do it every single day, because if you don't, you're just going to fail. You have to set yourself up for success, but you got to get clarity on where you're going, because you can have too many irons in the fire and too many things going, and you got to focus on the one thing, which is the one thing that's most important. But also when you have multiple businesses like us, and different things going on, you got a time block. And also you got a time block, whatever you're working on, your hidden thing, like your Maxwell thing, you got to put that in there, because that's towards your goal, right? I mean, where you're going with John Maxwell. Why did you join John Maxwell? I mean, what was your thing of like, I want to do this?
I have wanted to do it for a extremely long time. I was not committed to myself at that point in time. I still had luggage I needed to unpack. I just was not ready. And now I'm ready, and that's where it's like, you know what, it's now or never, and I'm committed to myself. It's kind of like, that theory that you hear around of let them. Well,
okay, I know she smells talking about it, and a client told us to read the book. I bought it, haven't read it yet. Okay, let's talk about it.
I have a spin on that. I was sitting there and I was having a conversation to the universe, to God, whatnot. I do it all the time when I have my alone time, and I was talking about them, and what came into my thoughts was, don't let them. Let you get out of your way. Whatever confidence, whatever was holding me back, I needed to get out of my own way. And there's a lot of people out there that are exactly like that. And nobody can make that choice for you. Nobody can decide that for you. You have to be able to let things go on your own time. And once you're able to do that, the world opens up. But you do have to do the work and do the process to get to where you are. And I am ready for John Maxwell. I'm ready to share my story. I'm ready to help guide people through that particular hub of committing to yourself and working through the hard.
I love that. Yeah, that's amazing. Well, welcome to the family again. I mean, I have different tribes, for different parts. I love speakers, and I'm telling you, when I go to the Maxwell event, it's like going to Rod Parsley's event. I mean, that's my tribe. When I get there, I don't meet a stranger. Like, everybody's amazing, because we're all alike. They're leaders, speakers, everybody, and you just like you're this big family. And I think personally, you've got to fit in those things to be around your tribe, because sometimes we're so busy working, that if we don't go to special events and be around people that are like us, we sometimes feel lonely. And I don't know about you, but there are times in my life that it's just that, I can live day to day and be friends with a lot of people because it's my personality, like yours. We're in sales and stuff. But there comes a time where you just I'm lonely. I really just want to talk to people who talk about what I want to talk about. finding your tribe. And when I can tell you, when I go to like John Maxwell and Rod Parsley, I mean, those are the events that you go, oh, if I could only afford to go to anything, those are the two events that I go to during the year. And whenever I get there, I mean, by the time I leave, I'm just so high from being around so many amazing people. So I do think it's important to you figure out who your mentors are, where your tribe is that you're going to grow the best, and time block that in. Also with like vacations, I always start in October. Like, what am I going to go on vacation, next year?
Yes.
What am I going to do for fun? I mean, during the week, I always find little fun things I want to do just because my brain thinks that way. But the big picture, like, where am I going on vacation? Who's going to train me? Who are my mentors? Who are my top 5 people? And you know as well as I do, is like John Maxwell says, like, if you don't have 5 people that are where you want to be, and you don't, have those people close to you, because, if you don't know a millionaire, well, maybe you go read a book, or you go follow somebody, and follow people that you want to be like John Maxwell, Rod Parsley, different people like that. You got to find your people that you can look up to. So go find you 5 people that can get you and help you get to your goal, and time block that.
Yes.
Go ahead.
You got to be careful too. For me, on different personalities, when you're time blocking, you want to make sure you're time blocking enough time for you to do what you need to do to continue your growth and your journey. For me, if I schedule too much, it overwhelms me and I end up plummeting down. And so you have to really, really look at yourself and decide what style you are. I like spontaneity. And so I had to leave room in my calendar for spontaneity. So I don't schedule family time. I don't schedule any of that. I just schedule my work. And then when it's not there, I'm off with my family. I'm off with the spontaneity of what is this, what is that. So it doesn't get in my head that this is what we're doing and it don't work out, because then I get upset, right? So I like to leave that part open. But you definitely need to figure out what is going to work for you, a schedule that's going to work for you. And you know what? Don't beat yourself up if it doesn't work out. That just means you need to adjust your calendar. A calendar is a work in progress, and it's going to move. And you're going to have to change your time blocks depending on you and where your life is. So don't beat yourself up if you're not staying on task. Maybe you need to make it small increments instead of a 2-hour time block. Maybe you need to do 20 minutes and then go do something else for another 20 minutes and then go back to it for 20 minutes. It really depends on how you are. There is no one size fits all.
Yeah, I asked a few speakers, that I said, do you have any wisdom for me this morning when I'm talking to Victoria about time management? And people have multiple businesses. And my friend Danny Thompson, that is the author of Seeing Success, the book of Seeing Success, he said he time blocks chaos.
Yes.
He has some time in there to solve a problem. And I was like, he just made me laugh. I was like, oh, it's so funny. And then another one was Clint Jordan told me this morning. He said he does his in different colors, and I'll talk about that later, that he time blocks according. Do you do anything like that?
I do. Everything has a color to it, so that way I know how hyper-focused I have to be as well. And it really kind of does help me. So yes, I do color code my calendar.
Okay, let's talk about that. So tell me about what's the color you use whenever you're making money?
Green.
Oh, okay.
Mean green, baby, mean green.
So what's the color you use whenever you, let's see, let me think, working on your future, your next business or whatever?
That's blue. So anything for personal development, Maxwell leadership, anything along those lines, like my appointment with you, is all in blue, because that's my personal growth and that's for me where I want to go. So that's always blue. And then anything for Alaska EXP is in orange.
Okay. So you have what you're doing for EXP, then you have for yourself, or help me break it down what you have in your calendar. How do you have it?
Let me go look. I gotta go look now. See what we did here. Hold on. Let's see, calendar. There it is. Okay, so on my calendar, You have the green for the money. You have the orange for EXP. You have the blue to move forward, and I have purple for my me time. And I even have it in there, lunch, but I have it in parentheses, me time. That's my time. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I have no freaking clue. It's my chaos. But that's how it is there for me, so I can have that time. And then I have light pink for all of my doctor appointments, because light pink is love, and I'm going to love myself, and we're going to go and make sure that I'm good and I'm taken care of so I can move forward for others. And that's kind of where my color coding sits.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I color code too. Mine looks a little different than that, but I have my little colors too. Everybody has their thing, you know.
Yes, yes, yes.
And so, and yeah, and I do put colors according to urgency, and then I have colors just in case I have nothing to do. Just in case something happens where my life frees up, which is very rare. Everything I do is, you know, really purposeful in my life, especially right now. Right now, I'm just trying to find time for myself. And I know I was talking to my coach on yesterday, and he was like, Amy, you need to take lunch. Because I was like, man,
Yes.
I'm just working 16-hour days and everything. And, you know, I'm trying to at least watch the sunset, you know, but then I'm missing dinner and all these things. And he's like, but at lunch, go have lunch. Or if you don't have lunch, go for a bike ride, go for a walk. You got to do something different. Yeah. So you got to time block, you know, your life. And so you can have your time and get your goals done for the where you're going and right now. And so I like what Victoria was saying about color coding them so you know where you're at. And
Oh
I
yeah.
like what Danny said about putting in their chaos. Here's my
Well,
chaos. Here's my problem to solve.
and I learned a kind of a little bit of a hard way about 10 years ago how important it is to write things down and time block in your calendar. I was busy selling. I was one of the top producers at the time, and my son was getting married. I forgot to put his wedding in my calendar and scheduled a listing appointment. So I had to call the listing appointment and say, "I can we reschedule? I am so sorry, but I almost missed my son's wedding
Oh
because
my
I
goodness.
was so focused on work and unbalanced, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Because family was not in the calendar. The chaos, like you talked about, was not in the calendar, the me time. And so all it was work. So I ended up filling the whole entire day with just work, and almost missed out on my son's wedding. I mean, what a tragedy that would have been. And so it really made me realize you need to schedule your me time and just put it in there. Even if you have nothing to do, that's okay. Just put me time in there so it's on the calendar as a reminder to yourself.
Yeah. I've taken a lot of classes that talk about if it's not on your calendar, it didn't happen.
Exactly. It don't exist.
Yeah, and I also was have read that, you know, and I remember I think it was Darren Hardy because I used to be a big follower of Darren Hardy many years ago, and he was talking and and he trained on like writing down every single thing you do all day. It just keep a pen and paper in your pocket and track what you do all day long, which
Yes.
is exhausting to me. But nowadays we have like Chat GPT, AI, whatever you use, and you can just tell it, oh, I'm doing this and it's this time. Oh, I'm doing this and it stopped. Track this, you know, text it to me, email me, whatever, you know. And the thing, were we gonna say something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say ChatGPT makes it so easy because you just hit it right on the nail there. You need to write down what it is you do every day. I don't care if it's just going to the bathroom or going and getting a cracker. You need to write it down. But if you open up your ChatGPT and just tell it, say we're gonna create a calendar, and then you let it know, hey, put this in the calendar. This is what I'm doing at this time. This is what I'm doing at that time. Do it for 1 week because things are gonna kind of shift. Then
Yeah.
you tell ChatGPT to make you a calendar, and it will make you a productive calendar.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I like that. You know, getting your calendar, having ChatGPT help you, and then get and just start doing it, and then yeah, tracking it, and then also just you know removing distractions. And I know I'm going to say this because I'm not going to say no names, but I had somebody, you know, another realtor who was just stressed out, whatever, and then they texted me something rude, and then I looked at it and I was like, yo, that's a distraction. And I go, I'm sorry that I can't respond because I'm really super focused in my life right now and I'm not going to do trauma drama, or
Yep.
whatever. I said, you're obviously stressed out. Go take a nap, come back, because we don't want to say anything that's going to hurt each other's feelings or be rude or regret something later. And as real estate agents, as nice and sweet as we
Go
are,
take a nap.
we're bulldogs too. We fighters, We got to get it done. We got to get people closed. And we're tired of
Oh, yeah.
answering the phone. We're tired of the emails. We're tired of this and this and this. And you're being lazy. And this just happened and that just happened. And you have no idea. We just smile and tell you everything's perfect. But really, all we do is work, trying to solve a problem, trying to get it solved, right? So,
100%.
yes. And so and the reason I bring this up is because if we're not careful, if we respond to somebody because we want to respond and we want to either defend ourselves or be rude back, what happens is you become on a bunny trail and it's not in your calendar. So I guess the next time somebody wants to fight with you, you just say, when they're rude, you're like, I can't, it's not in my calendar, but if you would like to book it.
That's a great
We
response
can
right
solve
there.
this problem, but you're going to have to, I know recently, because I get about sometimes I get like 100 messages a day on my in my Facebook, and I can't respond. I just can't. I just don't have time. And I remember somebody's on there, and he's like, he really wants to talk to me, and I was like, okay, it's $400 an hour. It's a 45-minute call, and you can talk to me. But I just don't have time. You need to be purposeful. If you're just talking to like, hi, how are you doing, Amy? I don't have time. I don't have, hi, how are you doing, Amy kind of time. Okay? I mean, I don't. If you're going to be purposeful, if you ask me a question, if you have to do something with business or whatever, yeah. And so I do. If you want to invite me to something, you can invite me something. But my life is pretty purposeful. Right now I don't have like an assistant that wants to go through them and, message everything. I just get where I go, hey guys, I appreciate everybody following me. I love all the love. And yes, I'm sorry. Don't take it personal. I just don't have time to enter 100 plus messages a day. And so we have to be careful about that because some people are just sitting at home and they just watching TV, playing video games. They just want to text you, which is nice. We appreciate all that. We just don't have time because it's not in the calendar. Right, Victoria?
And I think that is extreme self-discipline, and that's growth. Because I remember back early in our careers, man, you send me a realtor text fight, we're going to go. It's like,
Yeah.
Duke's off, we're going to go. Now I'm wasting all this time and energy on this argument. My stomach hurts, this hurts, I'm stressing myself out. For what? Nothing at the end of the day because it don't solve any problems. And having that self-discipline to be like, go take a nap, you're not on the calendar. If you want to schedule this argument, we can schedule this argument. I absolutely love that comeback. Let's schedule this argument for later. I think that's fantastic.
Wait, send me your questions. Send me your questions. Send me your argument. Send me your put down. So then that way I can go prepare.
Exactly. And
Right?
it's purposeful and intentful, and I love that because so often we get caught in these side rabbit holes, and you have to have that self-discipline to be all, this is not serving my purpose right now,
Right.
and I cannot respond to this right now. And it's okay to do that. It is absolutely okay to take your phone, flip it upside down, and put it down. It is okay to mute it. It is okay to turn it off and continue on with what you're doing. And you have to let yourself know it's okay.
Yeah. And the thing is too, is that you have to take time for you, like you and I talked about, because of our health and different things,
Absolutely.
You have to love yourself. I mean, how you treat yourself is a reflection of how you're going to treat other people. You can look at people and how they treat themselves and you go, oh, that's how they're going to treat me. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So when you get up in the morning and how you're doing, I always say how you do anything is how you do everything. And I do this in some of my motivational speaking. I was like, one time I was telling this man, I was like, like tie your shoe. And there was like, and he did this, he's a grown man, And I said, and this was not my children or anything. I just said, you should tie your shoe, because this is me just talking because I'm just talk out loud, no filter. And I said, don't you know that how you do anything is how you do everything?
Yes.
How you do anything is how you do everything. So if you're going to be working excellence and you're going to do well, you look at yourself, look at where you're going, get clarity on where you're going and what you want and how you want to represent yourself everywhere you go. And we need to think about that because now since COVID, we tend to, I mean, for a long time, I don't know about y'all, but I was like t-shirts and sweatpants and all
Yes.
this, you know.
The
I mean,
hair
look,
in the bun.
just throw some makeup on and just get on Zoom. You know what I mean? I mean, but now that we're not, and we're out in the public, and we are networking, and we're meeting people, and we're having coffees and stuff like that. You know, everywhere you go, just remember that you are representing you, your name, okay? And so think about that. And so, I and that's kind of all I want to talk about on that part. So,
Be committed to you. You have
yeah,
to be committed to you. I remember, I think we were at KW together, and we were sitting there, and I think it was Bruce Hardy that came up, and he was talking, and he was yammering, and he was like, "Are you the type of person that pushes the grocery cart back up, or do you leave it in front of your car?" You know, and I was one that just left it in front of my car, which honestly I had to look at myself, and now I'm half butting things because I'm not taking the time to finish it. And so it's really a process. Like I said, learn to love the process of you and your growth. And then from then on, I made an effort. I'm like, no, I'm
yeah,
going to push the cart back. And I started doing that. Just small steps will tweak your behaviors to make you more purposeful, make you intentful. So but you have to change it. But it was a great analogy, and it made me think, because I never ever did take the cart back until after that.
yeah. And you know, I always say, you know, and I tell you what I added to my calendar this year was working on my character.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just gonna just tell you like a horrible story of myself for a minute here. But I remember doing something, and my son was like, "Mom, you don't respect me." This is my son talking to me, and I was like, "Really? You don't think I respect you?" And I just took that really personal because I know enough about the Word of God that men don't feel loved if they don't feel respected. And even though he's
Right.
my child, he's 36 years old. So he's my child. I thought, man, I don't want that. I said, okay, so anytime you think that I don't respect you, I want you to tell me. I want you to tell me. Sorry, my dogs are being little stinkers over here. I said, I want you to tell me when I'm not respecting you because I want to learn how to be more respectful. Because, you know, if this is important to men, you know, then I want, and here's the thing is, I want my child to feel loved. And so if he thinks that there's something that I'm doing, I want to work on my character. And so year, I was like, I'm going to work on my character and I'm just going to own it no matter what. Even if he's
Yeah.
wrong, look, even if he's wrong.
Yes.
I go, it doesn't matter because it's how I make him feel. And you know how they say, like, you know, people never forget how you make them feel. And
No.
so, you know, and I thought about that and I go, I want to work on my character. And the other thing is that the book, How to Win Friends and Influence Others. And you may think, well, Amy, you have a lot of friends. And I go, I absolutely do. But who am I not reaching?
Right.
Or am
Right.
I making the most amazing people in my life not feel as loved? And so I go, you know what? Could I be better? I mean, yeah, can I win
Yeah.
friends and people love me? Yeah, but who am I? Who am I losing? You know, it's not about, oh, I have enough friends. It's about how could you be better? And so then I was teaching on this at 6 a.m. was like, say somebody's name. And I was telling people, I was like, one of the things that I love if I walk in a room, people are like, Amy Bacon. I just love it when people say that. And they get such a, I think they just like to say it, right?
We
And
do.
so
We love bacon.
I know. It's so funny. People send me videos like, oh my God, my daughter likes singing this. You know, some of the mortgage guys were like, Amy, it's Amy Bacon. You know, when I walk in a room, people just like get excited. Look, it's not that I'm super famous, it's just they like saying my name, right? But because they do, it makes me feel like amazing. I mean, it does. It makes me feel so good. And I was thinking to myself, oh my God, it makes me feel good when somebody says my name, whether it's a child or it's a grown person. And so I started saying, say, Victoria, you are an amazing lady. And
I
you're going after amazing big things at this next chapter in your life. And I'm loving it because a lot of people just stop and they start retiring. And you're like, nah,
Hey.
next step, next thing, next goal. I love it when people are telling me that they're not trying to do a world system. They're creating their life. And it's okay if you want to retire. Absolutely. It's okay. But if you don't, know that it's okay that you can do whatever you want to do. It's okay if you don't want to have a business, and it's okay if you want to have a business and multiple businesses.
Oh
None of
yeah.
it's wrong, and your fit is is what your fit is financially, physically, and spiritually. It's your journey. Just like, the Bible says, work out our own salvation with fear and trembling, right? That's your salvation, not somebody else to tell you everything that you're doing wrong. You already know. I always tell people, I said, I got a list. You want to know all my faults and everything, all my problems? I'll tell you everything I can make better. I got to list them because we are critical to ourselves. And so if we get, here's the thing is, get clarity on who you are, what you want, love yourself, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, work on your physical body. Your fit is different. Some people's is running a marathon. Some people's is like just walking 5 steps. Whatever your goal is, just get clear on that. And financially, whatever your goal is, and maybe your goal is that I just want, look, you maybe just want to be a leader. Or you just may want to be a speaker like Victoria joining John Maxwell. Like, how amazing is that? Right?
To impact other people's lives is going to be absolutely amazing.
Or maybe yours is like we've been talking about this morning about anxiety and fear and all this stress and all this stuff going on. Maybe your goal spiritually is like, I got to get my mind right because I got to get peace. I got to get where when I'm by myself that I'm not having toxic thoughts. I can tell you when I got by myself, I started seeing what was coming in my mind, the past, the pain, the low self-esteem or, not good enough or it's never enough, because we live in a world that we feel like it's never enough, maybe that's your goal, is just getting your mind right, getting the steps that you need or getting the right people in your life to help you not have toxic thoughts. Because if you cannot be by yourself, and when you're by yourself, it's always toxic thoughts, you need to work on that. Just like you're building your muscle, just like walking across the floor. We got to work on getting our mind right because that's where it starts. Writing things, getting clarity, writing them on the calendar, and staying focused. Go ahead, Victoria.
And that's where the let you comes in. So instead of let them, it's not about them, it's about you. Let you.
There.
And, I wanted to throw, when you were talking about all this purposeful intent and our schedules and all this great growth, there's one group out there I wanted to kind of throw out there too, is your house moms, your house dads that stay home with the family. You still need personal growth because you are the heartbeat of the family. So if it looks like for you, I want to be purposeful and intentful and grow my mindset and grow my leadership so I can be a better leader in my family and more intentful, more purposeful. That is amazing as well, because we all know, Amy, we both have kids, and man, stay-at-home mom, stay-at-home dad, kudos to you, because that is a lot of work, a lot of mental stuff. And man, I'm one of those that I loved going to work every day. So, it is what it is on that one. But I just wanted to give kudos for that group out there.
You know what? And here's the thing is, Victoria, we're all leaders.
Yes.
What did he say? You have about an average, I think it was Darren Hardy. Like I said, I used to follow Darren Hardy. It's like you're you have an average about 10 people who follow you. And because you may be like, oh, nobody looks up to me. Oh, yeah, they do.
I don't think so either. I'm the same way. I'm like, nobody, people might like my stuff, but I'm like, they really don't care. Or they, I could go off TikTok tomorrow. I could quit doing podcasts and nobody is going to care. And I fight with that every day. Because I don't believe that yet. I don't know if I ever will, but it is something that in my head I'm constantly pushing. 100%.
Yeah, and it's just rewiring your brain to tell yourself, because here's the thing is the enemy will come in and tell you have low self-esteem, like you're not good enough. Nobody cares about that, blah, 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 blah. Well, the thing is that maybe nobody right here, maybe nobody in your tribe. I'm going to tell you, probably my kids do not get on and watch my podcast, okay? They see their mom all the time, okay?
Oh, yeah.
But that doesn't mean I'm not a great leader, because I absolutely am, because
you are.
My tribe, just like you do, Victoria. We have our tribe. We have those people that look up to us, okay? But here's the thing is, even if the kids don't watch your podcast or watch you or your immediate family, they still watch you. I tell people, I said, you got to lead. And years ago, I was speaking at the VA, and God gave me this message about not quitting, and about, here's the thing is that when you look behind you, who's watching you if you quit? And years ago, my children, I don't know why I went starry. That was weird. Did you see
I think
that?
somebody went, oh yeah, I think you just got a gift. It's because you just got a gift.
Ah,
So
thank you so much for the gift. How amazing is that?
natural. I do not want to chop up your name. They gave you a gift.
Oh, that's so sweet. Well, thank you. I was like, what is that? So
You know,
exciting.
I think that's, you know what, I have to say this real quick because
Okay.
this woman here tells it to all of us. And let me tell you, as I've been going on this journey of getting physically better, getting my head better, and spinning all these plates, it's actually Amy's videos that she does not know that really lift me up. And so I have to just tell her, you are amazing.
Oh, thank you
You
so
are
much.
amazing. Because you tell me every single day, indirectly, but you tell me every day that I'm amazing. And I see it, and then, you know what? I walk away with attitude. I'm like, that's right. I'm amazing.
Amazing.
You know? And so I want you to know you are amazing because I don't know if you get told that back. And just keep doing those videos because those are inspirational and we need those to keep going. We're talking about our tribe, right? And how we impact people. And there's people that we impact that we just don't really know how much it is until it's gone. So keep doing it.
Thank you so much. And I will say that I do get it back all the time, every day.
Oh,
I
good.
don't think there's a time a day that goes by that somebody doesn't tell me that I'm amazing too. Somebody sends a message, even if I can't respond to everything, I do see them. I do see your messages. I just can't respond to hundreds of messages. That's all I'm saying. But
That's amazing.
so I am so grateful. And even if you tell me I'm beautiful, I still love that too. Even if I can't respond, I'm telling you, I'm super grateful. I'm just putting it out there for you guys to know that because I am grateful. And so going back to about people looking at us. So God gave me this message about not quitting. And like you guys know, some of you guys know if you listen to me, that my youngest son, when I was doing my bodybuilding competition, he said, Mom, years ago, he's like, before the bodybuilding thing, he was like, Mom, why do you never finish what you start? And man, just think about that. Why do you not finish what you start? And I thought about it and I was like, so when I was doing my bodybuilding thing, which is very, very hard, oh my God.
Oh, that was
I saved
amazing.
so much. Remember
That
that?
was
Yeah,
amazing.
I know you were in my life. I mean, in my life back and then those days
Yeah.
too. And you know what? But that's why I finished because I was like, I can't quit because my children are watching me, and in my family, we don't quit. And I tell my family, I was just talking to my brother the other day. I said, we had a rough life, but I'll tell you what, one thing we got is we got stubborn love. We got the love that you're going to fight with me, but the next time I see you, we're not even going to talk about it because we're going to keep moving on. We're not going to keep bringing it up because and that's something that my daughter-in-law said. Everybody was talking about me the other day when I left, and it made me feel good that they were talking to my friends and them about every time, if you have a disagreement with my mom, that the next time you see her, it'll seem like that she never even knew what happened. And I just thankful for that fruit and that love that God has given me. And yes, it's something to brag about because I had to go through a lot of somebody being mean to me to get there. But you know what? I just want to forgive and move on. I don't want to stay there because if you stay there and you don't forgive, it's a trauma, 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 trauma. And
Well,
so
you're
you
perfect.
don't want that. You just want to love. And you know what? Thinking about getting clarity on who you are. If you're not a quitter, put on your calendar every day. I'm not a quitter. I'm going to get this done. I'm not a quitter. Not today. And guess what? My 10 people who are following me, Amy Bacon, that likes her you're amazing, Miss Amazing. You're amazing. That's so funny. I love it. You're amazing. You're amazing videos. And the reason I do that is because you know what? Here's the thing is the world every day, everywhere we go, somebody tells us you're not good enough, or they make fun of you, or they're trying to find something wrong with you. I mean, there
Heard
are
it
people
my
that
whole
try to
life.
find faults the way I look. They try to find something where I make a mistake or whatever. All the time I'm always, you feel like you're never good enough. And
Yes.
so I said, you know what? I want to tell everybody that's connected to me that they're amazing every day because they are. If you take all your DNA and put it out on the ground, it's over 2 million miles. It'll go around the earth. That's how amazing you are. You're more amazing than a car, an airplane, a plant, whatever, anything you can think of. That's how amazing you are. You're so special. God gave you a gift and you can do anything that you want to do. And as Danny said the other day, he said, if you can do anything in 5 years, People graduate college. Look, people graduate college and I don't know about you, but I went to college and I'm not doing what I went to college for. I went to college to be a
Me
nurse.
neither.
I'm not even a nurse. I didn't even want to do that. I did phlebotomy when I was paying my way through college. And I can tell you that I got tired of finding veins in people. Like, that wasn't me. I was like, I need to be around positive stuff. I want to be happy. So
No,
you've
I
got
would
to put things on your calendar that you want to be happy. Do a job that you want to be happy in. Go ahead, Victoria.
I went to school for computer science, and I'm not doing that either. I have been dabbling in some classes on that on the side too, just to kind of keep me up on the snuff. But no, I have not had a job in that ever since I graduated. So I went a different way, but no, you are amazing, and we are told we are not enough. I was told that my entire life, or felt that my entire life, by environments, by actions, and for you, I know your story, and you have come so far, and to be able to make an impact in those that need that love and need to feel that, you are doing amazing at it. So it's an honor just to be friends, and I hope, honestly, that you come to my graduation at IMC in March. I will be there.
That is definitely the goal on my list, to be at IMC in March. Absolutely. I love John Maxwell stuff. Yes. It's amazing.
Yes.
And I'm so proud of you for doing that. That is amazing. And I love that you color code. So let's just recap a little bit, because I know we're about 15 minutes out, about getting clarity. I try to keep you repeating back kind of what we're at in case people are new getting on.
So be purposeful. Be purposeful, be intentful, like we discussed and you discussed. Write down what you're doing for the week. Use ChatGPT. Have it help you with your calendar. But number one, don't be hard on yourself. If you don't make the deadline, don't be hard on yourself. That just means you need to move it. Sometimes we make our schedule too tight or too loose in the beginning. It's a schedule. It can move with you and grow with you, so don't beat yourself up on that. But you definitely need to be putting it on the calendar and be committed to yourself, or it is not going to work. Until you make that choice to be committed to you, nothing is going to fall into place. It's just going to be start, and then you're going to stop, like what you were talking about. You're not going to finish it because you're not committed. So really look at that.
Committed. And it may be, I remember I always get so much stuff from my son. Both my sons are very successful. They're always telling me really cool stuff about, because I had this list of things that I wanted to do and they weren't getting done. And my youngest son again says, Mom, I don't think you really want it. I mean, you got to love your kids because they know you so well, right?
Yeah.
We never want to receive anything from our family because we're like, oh, whatever, you're just telling me this or whatever, But if you think about it, do you really, really want it? Maybe you need to get clear on what your goal is, and maybe that's not really what you want. Because if it's something you want and you're walking in what God's called you to do and you're walking in your gift, you're going to be so passionate about it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I 100% believe that because that's where I'm at now. I'm 50 plus years old and I am reinventing myself, and to come back to who I was before the world told me I wasn't. And that's where my purpose is I am enough. I can and I will get to where I want to go, and I'm good enough to do it. And so no, absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm going to stay there because you are being very vulnerable and talking about struggling with self-worth. And I find it's not you. I've seen some amazing people, successful, beautiful, handsome, because we are all that, But somewhere in life, somebody told us we weren't good enough.
Yes.
And we live in a world that we're not good enough. And it could be too that maybe it wasn't even somebody around you, but you watch enough stuff online that you never feel like you're worth anything or you don't have anything to give, but you do have something to give because you are amazing and God has created you and you're here on purpose. And I was just thinking about this, like how God created the earth, right? He said, let there be light, and he created everything, the water, he separated the water, and he created us, right? So you're here on purpose because guess what? When he created the world and he created the sun and made all that stuff happen, you weren't here, right? You weren't.
Nope.
You weren't there. You weren't there when he said, "Let there be light." So that tells you that you are here on purpose. You are here to be here right now. That you have a purpose, And you know what? Today I was hearing that song because I put it on my story about I get to love you, and it says I get to love you. And I'm not a singer, but I get to love you. And I started singing that I get to love you, and I was just thinking that Lord, I get to love you. I get to love my baby dogs. I get to love my grandbabies. I get to love my children. I get to love my family. I get to love Victoria. I get to love my friends. I get to love all the social media. But then I just got emotional and I said, God, you created us
Yes. Yes.
and you let us be here right now. And this is so emotional for me. But I said, God, I get to love you. I get to
That
love
makes me
you.
cry.
And I was like, God don't care if I can sing good or not, because,
Oh, you sing great.
if he wants to change my voice at any time, he could change it. But I was like, I get to love you. I get to love you. And as I was singing that, I get to love you. And you know what, Victoria, I get to love you. I get to love you. I get to love all you. I get to be here, that I get to empower people and tell them that they are fearfully and wonderfully made, that they are loved, and God created them on purpose, and that they have a purpose and they have a value and they have self-worth. And you know what? I'm so tired of the world telling people they're not good enough and all these things. And I'm here to tell you today that you are good enough. You are amazing. And you know what? If you got to listen to my video every single day, you listen to it, because maybe I don't have your name in front of me, but I'm going to tell you, I know my God that told the sun when to rise and when to set, and it obeys him every single day, created you. And you know what? He loves you. He loves you. If he didn't love you, you wouldn't be on this earth anymore. You would be done. You would be done. Listen to me. You are loved. You are amazing. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are made on purpose, and you have a gift. And I want to help everyone know that they are amazing and loved. And Victoria, know that you are loved. And you know what? Every day, create a new neural pathway. Anytime that something comes in, this is anxiety that comes in. This is the fear that we talked about this morning that comes in and tells you you don't have value, you don't have the self-worth. Somebody told you, sometimes it's a rejection from somebody that we loved, we have an emotional attachment to, and then they didn't love us or they rejected us. And then we're telling ourselves that we weren't good enough.
Yep.
That's when you tell your brain you're not allowed to be there. My neural pathway says I'm amazing. Jesus says I'm amazing. Amy Bacon says I'm amazing. And Victoria Roberts says I'm amazing. You are amazing.
Yes.
Look,
You're making me cry.
all you know is Jesus says you're amazing. It don't even matter if Amy Bacon thought that. Let's just say you're on here and you go, Amy Bacon don't even like me. Okay, you still amazing.
Yep. We weren't meant to have the same path. That's all. Yeah, just different tribe, right? And we
Yeah,
all
exactly.
have to get along, and we don't all have to like each other, because God put us here for different purposes. And it doesn't mean that we're all going to sit around holding hands singing Kumbaya, because
Right.
we all have different tribes that we are here to touch and make an impact on. And that is amazing. And you nailed
Yes.
it. And that is where I'm at now in my journey, is I let it go. I am worthy, and I'm going to show the world, and I'm going to help people feel unconditional love, and that they can do it. And
Yeah, and telling ourselves, that's why we do our I am, speak things that are not as if they were. We're building those neural pathways.
Yes.
We're restoring that amygdala that stores all of our emotional past. Let's go put some good stuff in there instead of the trauma in the past, right? Let's start putting in our amygdala. You guys early on in my amazing videos would know a lot about the amygdala, but look it up. The hippocampus stores that long term. The amygdala stores that emotional part. Somebody could say something to you, trigger you, you get angry, and they had nothing to do with that because it triggered something from your past. That's in your amygdala. So why don't you this year put in your calendar every day? Now you're going to build your character. Okay. You're going to tell yourself you're absolutely amazing. So in your calendar should be right off. Okay. I am amazing. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am here on purpose. I have a gift. Everybody doesn't need to like you because everybody's not going your path. I tell people, I said, walk in your favor. Okay? Because everybody is not going where you're going. It doesn't make them good or bad. It just means they're not going where you're going. So in your calendar, first off, get up, pray. Look, get on with 6 a.m. with Amy Bacon. Monday, through Friday and do your SPF tracking sheet. And we're going to track, and we're going to do that every morning. We're grateful. We're writing our 3 things down, our goals every day, spiritually, physically, financially. Okay. What is God speaking to us today? What is God speaking to you about? Putting it down and remembering who you are, saying your I ams, and finding something fun to do that day during lunch, at dinner, whatever it is. Make time for you. Because I know when I had kids and they were younger, all we did was, football, basketball, baseball. I was like, thank God. And then I'm over here going, my kids didn't even play NFL. They just decided to do something else. And then later they were doing powerlifting, when they got older, it's just like all these things that we do. So put your morning time as you time. Okay. And then it should be always that way. Get up and get your mind right and tell yourself that you're valuable. And then get your chaos in there. Put your chaos in there, your problem. Look, don't solve problems in the afternoon. Keep your morning peaceful. I was like, anything after lunch, we ready. You ready to go. But in the morning, keep your peace. If they say something rude on the text message and they want to fight, you're like, okay, I can't fight about this. But if you send me your questions or your whatever, we can schedule a time and we can problem solve this or fight about it or whatever you want to do. Right?
Yes, I love that. Scheduling the fight. I absolutely adore that. I think that is just, out of anything out of this podcast, that shows that you have control over your life. That shows that you have control over your space, your purpose, and what God hasn't intended for you, because you're not going to fall for the devil's sword over there. You are going to say, you know what? I will discuss this with you, but we're going to revisit it when it's good for me. And that is self-love. Right there.
You know what? Also, that you can get your thoughts together, because right then, as soon as somebody throws something at you, it could have caused a trigger from something in your amygdala from your past. So at least they're going to give it to you. Let's think about it. Because the Bible also tells us if you get anything, you got to get understanding. So you got to get understanding, and that's in everything your life. Get your clarity, get understanding of what you really want, and get understanding. Like if they have an argument or they're upset with whatever, it's okay. And then if you made a mistake and that's why they're upset, just own it. Oh, that's me. I'm sorry, this is what I did and this is what I can do. Now, if they go, oh, well, you did this, because some people go, oh, she admitted it. Let me see how far I can knock her down. That's abusing you. That's trauma. And that's another bunny trail. And then you stop it there. You've said you're sorry. I learned this from my another broker, Jackie Danner, was that if you do your job and you've done what you're supposed to do, you do not have to respond to anybody. You don't have to defend yourself when you know who you are and you're doing the right things. Okay. Once you've apologized and you've corrected things, then you just move on. That's a healthy professional way of being. Just to go trauma. Let me see how long you can abuse me, kick me, and beat me. No. We don't. It's called self-love. It's our job, and God expects us to be a good steward over ourselves. Be a good steward over everything He gives us. Right? Our job, ourselves. We have to take care of us. We're supposed to be good steward over us, our bodies, our minds, everything. This is what you get. All on this earth. This is what you get. This is what I get. Whether we want to change it or not, I'd be like, I got to have the long hair. I want to have short hair. I got a blonde hair, blue hair, whatever it is that you want. Okay. I want, this or that, whatever it is, you can do whatever you want to do, but take care of you, because this is the only body that you're going to get while you're here on the earth. So be a good steward over that. Be a good steward over your calendar. Because the Bible also tells us if you can be trusted with the little things, you can be trusted with great things. So could you write your calendar down and you can start working on getting better at your calendar? Could you submit that to God? I can tell you that, hang on a second. One of the things when I first started selling real estate was I put that scripture down about, everything that I do, here's the thing is that God is watching me. So if God is watching me, I'm going to do everything, and everything I do, I honor Him. That's what the scripture says. And everything I do, I honor Him. So I'm honoring Him. So when He's looking at me, am I being a good steward over my calendar, over myself, over, the people that He entrusted to love me, for me to love them. Yes. And for them to love me. Are they being good stewards? Yeah, here I am trying to tell them how to do their job. But am I being a good steward over that? A lot of times we go, oh, well, they're not being good to us, or they're not whatever. But the love says, love sees no wrong done to it, right? So That's what we're talking about with my family, is that even if my family, even though y'all think I have this perfect family, we disagree sometimes. And sometimes we make each other sad. But we still love each other because love sees no wrong done to it. And that's what we have to practice doing, forgiving and loving other people, but being a good steward. And if God is watching you, are you working with excellence? Are you doing the best that you can do? Don't beat yourself up because you know what? God knows when you're failing, but also don't lay there and be a victim. Okay?
No.
God wants us to work, but if you're working in what you're called to do and your passion, you love it. But if not, you might need to get clarity on what God's called you to do
Yes.
and what you love to do and what your gift is.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Everyone has a journey. And you know that journey comes in God's time, not yours. And so don't beat yourself up if you fall down. Just dust your knees off, get back up and keep going because it will open up. It's opening up for me and I could not be more excited for where my future is going.
I am so glad you joined me. It's such a fun time to just talk about all kinds of things. I didn't realize it was going to lead into so many things, but it's a big wrap on the calendar.
It's well, you know, I think when it comes to time management, it has to get back to who you are. Who are you and where do you want to go in life and how committed are you to work on your character, to work on yourself, to get where you want? Because if you don't have that if you don't have those ducks in a line, you can schedule everything under the sun and you're not going to be disciplined enough to follow it through.
Yeah.
So it all ties together. Absolutely.
Well, we got to wrap it up. We got 1 minute left. Thank you so much, Victoria. You're an amazing person. And thank you for being vulnerable and helping people because so many people go through the same thing. And you know what? You guys know that you're enough. Get your blueprint ready. Get your business plan. Start getting ready. What do you want? And I can help you do that. You can go to amybacon.com. I can coach you. You can join my tribe for $99 a month, and we do workshops every week. You get this amazing package of being coached and helped. And I also have a transformation package that you can buy that is 12 weeks, and it transforms your life spiritually, physically, and financially, so you can become your best self. I'm also hiring. I need 12 new coaches to do something that I'm going to do. So if you're interested in being a coach and you think you got what it takes to, coach a team of 12 other people to grow spiritually, physically, and financially for 12 weeks and enter a contest, let me know because I want to just transform people's lives. And you guys know that you're amazing because you're always amazing. And that you are loved and you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And it doesn't matter what anybody says. You're still beautiful. You're still handsome. You're still amazing. And you still are here on purpose. And God loves you. Amy Bacon loves you. And Victoria does.
Yes.
Get your calendar. Get it done. You guys are amazing. Make it happen. Have a great day. And I'll see you at 6 a.m. tomorrow, Central Standard Time. Get up and pray with me. And go online, amybacon.com, and fill in, enter on my mailing list, and you'll get an instant download of the SPF tracking sheet. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.
Bye. Thank you for having me.